A funny thing happened when I was about 15 years old. I got involved in a really bad murder and rape. The door opened, I was going to football practice, I was playing high school football, and the man called me in to help him. So I walked in the door and she's laying on the floor and it was, just a horrible gurgling sound. And there are actually two women and I only saw her. We carried her outside and put her in a Jeep. And I eventually went back in and fell over. The other one, she was dead. 55 years later, I started getting horrible headaches. And it was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they couldn't diagnose it, and I was at a psychiatrist and all that. And they started to blame everything on trauma in my past. But I had a tendency in everything that I painted, no matter what it was, I had to have red in it. And they blamed it on the blood from the woman. And I thought that that was pretty strange. I couldn't do a picture without putting some kind of a red blood-looking thing in it. It eventually ended up being shingles of the brain. It's like 1% of the people who get shingles get it in the brain, and it doesn't usually go away. And it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, extensive pain. It got to the point I was having a lot of trouble focusing, so I couldn't use my camera anymore, and I was more or less stuck in the apartment in San Francisco. I said, well, what am I going to do now? And then I just started trying to paint, see what I could draw. I'd never done it before in my life, and it just kind of took off and started selling real well, and that's when I became an artist and a painter. When I got sick, I was really bad off for 5 years. I mean, really extremely bad off where I couldn't move. But every morning I would wake up and it started off, I don't even know how it started off, I just scribbled some lines and put a cigarette in it. And I think it comes from my mother and her sisters, Olive, Beulah, Gertrude, and Hilda. They all died from lung cancer. Every morning I get up and kind of make it a diary page, try to do something in 2 or 3 minutes. I call them cigarette girls. Some were really, really bad, some were just scary looking, and some were happy if I felt a little better. If the rent was due, I didn't look so good in it, but they always had a cigarette, and then they just started all wearing red bows. And when I was in the pain clinic at Kaiser Hospital for 3 months, they liked the idea. They wanted me to publish a book on them, and we used them in class to try to get people to do their own type of work, to put in a diary themselves what they were going through every day, so they would have a record of it.